This week, my travels found me first in New York City for meetings with prospective brokerages, then back to Irvine at our HSF affiliates headquarters. You know, I'm a big fan of the idea that new eyes see old things in new ways, and that's why I am constantly listening to books. It is also why I often re-listen to those books that have a deep and profound impact on my business, philosophy, and life. On the second listen, I always find points that I've missed or ideas that I can now more deeply understand. I spoke a few weeks ago about a book by former FBI lead hostage negotiator, Chris Voss, Never Split the Difference. And I want to return to the wisdom he puts forth, which I think you'll find useful on your own business negotiations. Here are 5 additional takeaways to consider. Number 1, at the onset of a negotiation, extract and observe as much information as you can. Remember, listening is as important as engaging. When someone knows you're truly listening, you forge a more meaningful connection. Number 2, people are driven by emotions. Fear and the fear of loss are incredibly influential emotions that affect how people think, act, and negotiate. If you start from the idea that the person you're negotiating with is emotional, then you must develop a set of skills to deal with these universal human conditions to find a solution to the situation. The best way to do that is not with an aggressive or adversarial method of communicating, but instead with a strategically empathetic way of talking to the person so he or she understands you truly want to collaborate and resolve the issue. Number 3, yes is meaningless without how. You can have the greatest strategy known to humankind or strike the best deal, but if you don't have a plan for its execution, what do you really have? Asking how a solution will be reached is also empowering to the other person in the negotiation. We're putting the burden back on him or her. Be sure that when you do come to an agreement, both parties understand exactly how that agreement will be executed to completion. On a related note, follow the 4DX system. You should hold each other accountable for this execution. Number 4, the best negotiators use the pronoun we instead of I. By using the pronoun we, you're giving the distinct sense that you're open to collaboration and that you're not focused on your own authority or influence. We denotes flexibility and confidence. The more people use I, the more it may seem they are just trying to prove themselves, but have no power beyond their words. Number 5, get comfortable with conflict. Just the fact that you're in a room or on a phone negotiating with another person means that you're actively collaborating on a problem you're more likely to solve. This is obvious, but if there's no communication, there's no resolution. So what's the message? Humans are so different. We are each unique in our own way, but we are also very much alike. We are driven by emotions, we react to fear and loss, and in a situation of conflict, we want to know that the person on the other end is as invested in finding a workable solution to the problem as we are. But when conflict arises, it's important that as leaders, we understand how best to resolve it, so that in the end, both parties are better off than they were before. Negotiation, in this sense, brings us to a better state of being. As Chris Voss wrote, he who has learned to disagree without being disagreeable has discovered the secret of negotiation.